There are people who move through life without much visible reaction. No matter what's happening, they seem steady. When things go wrong, they don't panic. When others react, they pause. Their voice stays even. Their expressions don't shift much. And in moments where most people feel overwhelmed, they appear calm. To most people, it looks natural, effortless even, like a personality trait you're either born with or not. But calmness is rarely innate. More often, it's something that was learned over time. For some people, calmness came from necessity. They grew up in environments where emotional reactions didn't feel safe or useful. Maybe chaos was common. Maybe conflict escalated quickly. Maybe emotions made things worse instead of better. So they learned to stay still. They learned that the safest response was not to react too much, not to feel too loudly, not to add fuel to already unstable situations. Over time, this restraint became automatic. Calmness turned into a reflex, not because nothing affected them, but because reacting once carried consequences. From the outside, it looks like emotional maturity. Inside, it often started as self-protection. For others, calmness developed through repetition, through experience, through seeing how often panic exaggerates reality. When you've been through enough challenges, urgency loses its grip. You start to recognize patterns. You learn that most problems feel larger at the beginning than they do in hindsight. So instead of reacting immediately, you wait. Not because you don't care, but because you've learned that clarity usually arrives after the initial surge fades. Their calm comes from familiarity with stress, not immunity to it. Then there are people whose calmness is intentional. They've spent time learning how their mind works, how their body reacts. They observe their thoughts instead of chasing them. They've learned that emotions pass faster when they aren't fed. For them, calmness is a choice. They don't suppress what they feel. They just don't let it take over. They understand that not every emotion requires action. Not every thought deserves attention. Their calm isn't emptiness, it's discipline. They trust themselves to handle what's happening without losing themselves in it. And there's another kind that's harder to recognize. The calm that comes from acceptance. Some people stay steady because they've stopped fighting outcomes they can't control. They don't waste energy resisting reality once it arrives. They adjust instead. Their calm doesn't mean they're unbothered. It means they've already grieved the illusion of control. They don't ask, "Why is this happening?" They ask, "What now?" But here's the part people often misunderstand. Calmness doesn't mean the absence of emotion. Many calm people feel deeply. They notice everything. They just don't externalize it the way others do. They choose when to react and when to conserve energy. They've learned that constant emotional output is draining and rarely effective. Their processing happens inwardly, quietly, often later. There's also a hidden weight to always being calm. When you're the calm one, people lean on you. They look to you when things fall apart. They expect composure from you, even when you're struggling too. They come to you for grounding, perspective, reassurance. Over time, your calmness becomes a role you're expected to play and something you feel pressure to maintain. And sometimes you stop being asked what you need because everyone assumes you're fine. Calmness can be a strength, but it shouldn't become a cage. Healthy calmness isn't about staying composed at all times. It's about flexibility, knowing when to hold steady and when to let yourself react honestly, knowing when composure serves you and when it costs you. So if you're someone who's always calm, there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're emotionally distant. It doesn't mean you're disconnected. It means you've learned how to stay intact under pressure. Just remember, calmness is a skill, not an identity. And the most grounded people aren't calm because they feel nothing. They're calm because they've learned how to feel without losing themselves.